Are you ready for some awesome robot action? Huge ass kicking destruction on the Sega Saturn. Here we have the 3D controller, and here we have the regular Sega Saturn controller. Today we're going to be using the regular Sega Saturn controller, as you can see here. And over here, you can also use the Sega Saturn 3D controller if you feel that it's more comfortable. But I prefer to use the regular controller for this Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 1 video game full of awesome ass-kicking mobile Gundam action. Now you may be familiar with Gundam video games. There's quite a few that I enjoy, but this one is one of my favorites. As you can see, that's what the back looks like. And right here, this is what the disc looks like. And as you can see, there's a little one on the bottom that indicates that it's side story number 1. And there's 3 side stories on Sega Saturn. Let's check this out. And we're going to be playing Mobile Suit. Oh, here we have a dead battery. That's nothing new. Anyways, we're going to be playing Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story number 1. Now there's 3 side stories to this game. 3 discs. They come in a nice little cardboard box art, which I don't have at the moment because I have all my cases stored someplace else. Luckily I have my discs. And here we have a Bandai introduction. And right here,
0079地球から最も遠い宇宙都市サイド3はジオン公国を名乗り
we have an introduction to the game
独
with
立戦争を挑んできた
an English supplement on the bottom where we can read the basics of what's going on.
開戦当初物量で優位に立っていた連邦軍を圧倒した。それに対し連邦軍もモビルスーツの開発に着手。やがてガンダムと呼ばれるモビルスーツとその量産タイプであるジムが完成した。開戦から11ヶ月、オデッサ作戦での大勝により地球上でのミリタリーバランスは連邦軍に傾いた。ここに至り連邦軍は最終的な勝利をつかむために本格的なモビルスーツによる部隊を編成した。彼らの使命はあらゆる状況下でのモビルスーツを使用した実践データの収集であった。鹿島少尉、開戦直後からモビルスーツのパイロットとして訓練を受けてきた彼がこの部隊に配属されたのはオデッサ作戦から数日後のことであった。この時彼はまだ自分が大きな運命の波に飲み込まれてしまったことに気づいていなかった。
So as you can read on the bottom, there is a war going on between what I believe to be 2 nations. 2 nations of robots. Mobile Suit Gundam robots. Let's check out the option menu real quick. As you can see, you can set the difficulty, and this gives you an idea of how you play the game. There's a lock-on button, so it makes it a little easier. Anyways, you can also set it to easy or hard if you want. I keep it on normal mode. Now, this game was made in 1996, as you can see on the bottom, so it's pretty impressive for 96 in my opinion. Wait till you see it.
少尉、今日からこの部隊の通信オペレーターになりましたモーリン北村伍長です。もうお分かりだと思いますが、もう一度本作戦について説明させていただきます。皆さんはこのままミディアで移動し、ポイント36で降下。そこから4時の方向に1キロ行ったところにあるジオン基地を攻撃してください。敵基地は防御用の統治下で守られていますので、十分注意してください。また 本作戦はモビルスーツ同士の戦闘データの収集が目的です。基地を破壊させる前でも敵モビルスーツを全機殲滅したら直ちに撤退してください。それではご分をお祈りしています。
Oh, I have the slightest idea of what she just said, but this is where the game begins.
これなら敵に気づかれずに接近できます。
ほんじゃまぼちぼち行くとすっか。お先に行くぜ優勝尉。
Now, for 1996, this is when 3D games were starting to become brand new to people. Like around 95, 96, 3D games became mainstream. So when this game came out, it must have really impressed a lot of people who played it because it was pretty awesome. Still is pretty awesome in my opinion. As you can see here, it's like a fast-paced mech warrior. That's the only way I can describe it. And it plays and handles very, very well. Now, my favorite mech game is probably Mech Warrior 3. But this game is probably my favorite console mech type of game because there ain't really no Mech Warrior games on consoles. There is, but it's not as fun as the PC version. This game is definitely my favorite robot mech type of game on a console. It actually looks very impressive for 96 and it plays very well. You have your first person view, you're actually in the cockpit of the robot. Where you actually have the gun. You have like the dashboard right there that tells you how much ammo you have. Sound effects are very, very impressive for the time. I mean, if you close your eyes, it sounds just as good as today's games. I mean, it really does. You would probably imagine that, well, wait a minute, are they playing something on a 360 or PS3? As you can see here, I'm trying to lock onto this guy and I'm trying to take him out. Now the whole objective is you have to take out, on each level there's like a series of robots, or Gundam mechs that you have to kill. You also have these damn tanks that shoot at you. Let's take care of those. Now that's pretty cool. So not only can you kill the other mechs, but you can also kill the tanks that are on the ground too. You also can destroy the buildings. So this game has a lot of creativity. Now you also can use a sword, which is what that pinkish purplish streak that goes across the screen when I get close to the other Gundams. That's a sword that I swing at them real fast. It's kind of hard to see it, but if you rewind, you'll see it. For a 6-button controller, this game has a lot of controls to it. I don't even use all 6 buttons, so right there, that's the sword, as I mentioned before. Once again, the explosion effects are very nice. 2D sprites. Now they also have a similar Mobile Suit Gundam game on the Dreamcast, which is a more prettier version of this, I suppose, but I don't care for the controls on that version. I played it, and I think the controls on this version was a lot more I favor the controls on the Saturn version more than the Dreamcast version. As you can see here, the level just got cleared.
敵さんのザクなんかよりこのジムの方が高性能だとは分かっちゃいたが、実際戦ってみると生きた心地がしのぐったぜ。
I have no idea what he just
俺は
said.
死ぬ時がベッドの上って決めてんだ。優勝いい。お互い鉄の棺桶の中じゃ死にたかはねえよな。
One thing I can tell you is that the way the game plays, it's awesome. And I don't believe that this game released in the United States or in Europe. So the only way that you can get this game is
一つの戦いは終わった。
purchase the Japanese copy on
選手
eBay.
たちは互いの無事を喜び合い、生きていることに感謝する。しかし、
And once you clear the level, it tells you, it gives you like a ranking, and it also gives you a,
だから
I guess a ratio of something. I'm not sure what that says. I'm not sure what that says either. Unfortunately, I'm not Japanese, but the game, even though the game's in Japanese, it's still very playable.
友軍を攻撃しながらこちらに接近してきます。ジムパイロットの皆さんは各機独自の判断で応戦してください。
おいおい勘弁してちょうだいよ。なんなのよそのいい加減な命令は。来た。
Okay, so basically this guy right here is one of your enemies, and he just happens to be super fast, and you have to really, it's like a boss almost. You have to really use strategy to kill him. You have to get close to him, whatever you can to kill him. It's hard to hit him because he moves a lot faster than the other guys. See here. You have to really focus to get him. If you move too far away from him, you can't lose sight, so you have to try to get close. I just knocked him down with a sword. Now, as mentioned before, even though the game is very much in Japanese, I mean, there's the option menu's in English for some reason, but it's very playable even though most of it's in Japanese. Now, for whatever reason, there's a lot of Sega Saturn games, the Japanese games, a lot of it's in English. Most of the games that were released on Sega Saturn in Japan, except for probably RPGs. What, racing games, fighting games, action games, any of these type of games. A lot of them, most of them were released, and a good portion of it was English, so it's very easy to make your way around the game. No, I do have a few RPGs on the Sega Saturn. One of them is a Japanese RPG, and I can't play it because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But for the most part, since I own a Japanese Sega Saturn, I have a region converter that allows me to play American games as well, so I do own a few American RPGs that are in English, so it doesn't bother me all that much. Except for the fact that there's probably is a lot of RPGs that are Japanese that are probably nice. As you can see here, I reached the end of this level right here.
マシントラブルか。何にしても助かったぜ。危なかったな、ユウ。
And once you reach the end of the level, the guy doesn't even die, he just takes off because he's probably almost dead. But you still completed your mission. So I guess he weakened him enough that he ran away.
戦場には2種類の人間しかいない。死んでしまった者とこれから死ぬ者だ。 そのどちらも嫌なら戦場に足を踏み入れてはいけない。だがすでに青き死神
So you can see here it's like half English, half Japanese. And right here, I don't know what that says.
演習中のジムの
Now this is nice because it's in a different environment. You're during the daytime instead of the
ギャロ
nighttime.
ップを中核とする敵機動部隊を偵察中のディッシュ107が発見。フライマンタ隊により上空から爆撃を加えましたが、ギャロップの足を止めただけで破壊するには至りませんでした。敵は護衛のモビルスーツを展開し、必死にギャロップの修理を行っている模様。至急現場に向かい敵を殲滅してください。
Now in the comment box below, I want you to like
なんで俺たちがこんな後始末しなきゃな
help
らないん
me
だ。
translate what they're saying.
少尉、文句言わないでください。これもモビルスーツ戦のデータ収集のためなんですから。
へえ。そういや、優勝。あの青いやつの話聞いたかよ。どうもあれは連邦
The
軍が
graphics are very
防衛
impressive.
してき
Look
た
at that.
博士に作らせた
It's running
ニュー
around
タイプ用の実験機だったらしいぜ。
like pistol out. You can even see the little emblem on the
知ら
shield
ねえよ。
and the emblem on the chest of the Gundam mobile robot.
ジオンだからなのかね。
敵、索敵エリアに入りました。各機、戦闘
And
準
for
備に入ってくだ
96,
さい。
that's very
はい
impressive.
よ。お仕事お仕事。
Yeah, what I want you guys to do is help me translate this game in English and comment below. Just add your own little dialogue of what's going on here. And here we got a fast-paced robot. This game is definitely one of my favorite Sega Saturn games. The game is very, very fun. So if you have a Sega Saturn, American or Japanese, you can still play this game. Just buy the Action Replay 4MB cartridge and you can convert it to Japanese region, or if you already have a Japanese console, just buy the game because this game is awesome. There's a few other mech games available on the Sega Saturn, but there's Gun Griffin, but I really prefer this game right here. And this game kicks ass. I just can't express enough how much ass kicking this game has to it. It's this game right here. And just look at it. It's definitely ahead of its time. I mean, just imagine like a year before this, we were probably playing 2D fighting Gundam games. And then all of a sudden this came out. This game, well, as you can see there, you can destroy buildings, which is cool. But before this, like a year before, a couple years before, we were playing like this 2D Gundam games. Not even that good. And all of a sudden this came out. I bet if it was 1996, this game probably blew people's minds when they were playing it. Now there's a few other Gundam games that I really, really enjoy. On the PlayStation 1, there's a couple of fighting Gundam games that came out, I think around 98 and 2000, I believe. I'm not sure exactly, but I think maybe even after 2000, but they were both on PlayStation 1. And those games were really, really awesome. Eventually I'll show them off. And it's a shame that they didn't come out on the Saturn, because I'm pretty sure if they did, they'd probably be better. Because they focused on 2D fighting, similar to old school fighting games like Street Fighter. They had similar mechanics to like Street Fighter 2 of how you play the game. the same type of controls and stuff. This game right here is definitely a hidden gem on the Sega Saturn. Now the Sega Saturn has Virtual On. They have quite a few of different type of mech games. They have Virtual On, Gun Griffin, and they have another one that I forgot the name of, but it's very, very expensive. Which is why I forgot the name of it, because I can't afford it. I do own the second episode of this. As you can see here, this, I'm not sure if you can destroy this or not, but some type of a beastly looking building thing that's shooting at you. Let's look at the level of detail this thing has. It's crazy. And I just screwed up. I died. Mission failed. And I think that says mission failed also. Uh, 100%. Okay.